A very good morning, students. Today we are going to study boating with friends. This is the chapter from your English channel book of class 8th. This chapter is an extract from the famous novel Three Men in a Boat, written by Jerome K. Jerome. This is a small incident from the novel and also edited version. About the author, Jerome K. Jerome was an English writer and humorist. He is best remembered for his work Three Men in a Boat. He also wrote many plays and his work have been widely translated. Let us start reading the chapter para by para. They were three in a boat, Jerome, George and Harry. They planned to spend a few days boating on the Thames. The clock on the cabin wall showed 6 in the morning. For the past hour, Jerome and George had been sitting huddled. Huddled means crowded together, up in the blanket, sharing their experiences, some true and some not so true. When Jerome finished his narration, George set to work to wake up Harry with the point of an umbrella. Wake up, lazy bones. Lazy bones means lazy person. The third prod, poke with finger, foot or any pointed object, did it. But he turned over on the other side and said he would be down in a minute. He was still dreaming. They soon let him know where he was. However, with the aid of the boat hook, and he sat up suddenly. They were three friends. Their names were Jerome, George, and Harry. They made a plan to spend some day boating on River Thames. Here is a small incident. What happened that day? It was 6 a.m. 6 a.m. in the morning. For past hour, Jerome and George were sitting together and sharing their experiences, which were some true and some false. After Jerome had spoken, George started to wake up Harry, who was sleeping. He started to wake him up with the point of an umbrella and called him lazy bones and asked him to wake up. The third person means Jerome poked with his finger, to which Harry turned over the other side and replied he would be down on a minute. He was dreaming, but Jerome and George made him realize with the hook of the boat where he was. But with the he sat up suddenly. George pulled up the canvas and the three of them poked their head out to look down at the water. They shivered. Shivered means shook with cold at the sight. Sight means view. The idea agreed upon the night before and had been that they would get up early in the morning, fling off the blanket, leap into the river with a joyous shout, and enjoy a long, delicious swim. Now that morning had arrived, however, the notion seemed less tempting. There, they were on the boat. George pulled up the canvas and three of them looked down the water. They shook with cold to see the cold water. They made a plan in the previous night that next morning they would get up early through their blanket, means they would come out of their blanket early in the morning and jump into the river with happy shout and enjoy a long enjoyable swim. Now that morning had come and the idea to go into the water seemed less attractive as the water was very dark and very cold and the wind was also very cold. Then Harry asked who was going to the water first of all. There was no rush for precedent. Precedent means in order of importance first. George settled the matter for himself. He sat down and started pulling on his socks. Harry said it would be messy to get into the boat again, so he started sorting his clothes and promptly dressed for the day. Promptly means without any delay. That left Jerome to decide what he was going to do. Nobody was ready to jump firstly. George thought about himself. For that, he sat down and started pulling on his socks. Harry made an excuse if they would go into the water and it would be messy to come into the boat again. So he dressed up for the day without any delay. Now it was turn to decide Jerome what to do. It was Jerome's idea in the first place, and he desperately wanted to show that it wasn't a harebrained means very foolish idea at all. Though now he didn't relish means to enjoy the plunge. Plunge means jump. He began to make excuses for himself. There might be snakes about or weeds, but then he decided to save face by going down to the edge and just dipping his legs into the river. He took a towel, crept out onto the bank, and wormed his way along onto the branch of a tree that dipped down into the water. As Jerome gave this idea to jump and swim on the river, so he wanted to show them it was not a foolish idea, but still he didn't want to enjoy the jump. He started to make excuses that there would be snakes and weeds etc. in the river, but it was matter of his honor, so he decided to save himself by going down to the bank of the river and just dipping his legs into the river. He took his towel, went slowly onto the bank. He was going along onto the branch of a tree that dipped down into the water. It was bitterly cold. The wind cut like a knife as he stood on the overhanging branch. Then he started having second thoughts. He would meekly means quietly, go back into the boat and dress. He decided to risk their jeers. Jeers means funny jokes. But as he turned, the wicked branch gave way. Gave way means broke. And he and the towel went in together with a tremendous splash. Tremendous means very large. Splash means a small amount of water falls on something. He was out midstream with a liter of the Thames water inside him before he knew what had happened. It was very much cold. The wind was feeling like a knife as he was on a overhanging branch. Then he thought he would quietly go back into the boat and dress. He decided to tolerate their funny jokes, but as he turned to go, the cunning branch broke and he, with his towel, fell into the water with a splash. He didn't understand what happened to him. "Hey dude, Jerome has gone in," he heard Harry say as he came blowing to the surface. "I didn't think he would have the pluck to do it, did you? How is the water?" Jerome sang out, sniggering. Then Henry said to George that Jerome has gone into the water. He was saying that he didn't know that Jerome had so much courage to go into the water. Then George asked, laughing in a sly way, how the water was. "Lovely," Jerome spluttered. Spluttered means to speak with difficulty. Back. "You are fools not to come in. I wouldn't have missed this for the world. Come on in. Try it. Just a wee bit of determination." Determination means willpower, firmness. That is all it takes. But no, nothing could persuade them. Jerome replied with difficulty that the water was very lovely. You are foolish enough not to come in. Jerome was persuading them that to come into the water it needed a very small amount of willpower. But nothing could convince them and they didn't go. Jerome was very cold when he got back into the boat. But in his hurry to get his shirt on, accidentally means by chance, jugged means pushed it into the water. It annoyed him all the more because George found it very amusing. Amusing means funny, and guffawed. Guffawed means laughed loudly and heartily. When Jerome came back into the boat, he was very cold. He was in a hurry to put on his shirt. Then by chance, the shirt fell into the water. George started to laugh as he thought it funny, so Jerome became very angry. You monster, Jerome scolded him. Have some pity on me. I am freezing and you are laughing. But George found his protest means objections, even more hilarious. Hilarious means funny, and laughed hysterically, means uncontrollably. Jerome had never seen him laugh so wickedly. Wickedly means cunningly. He lost his temper with him. Lost his temper means he became annoyed. What a heartless maniac. A person who behaves in a wild and stupid way you are, he said. But George only roared louder. Then Jerome became angry and he spoke angrily to him and asked him to have some pity on him and said that he was freezing and George was laughing at this. But he then found it funnier and laughed uncontrollably. Jerome had never seen him laughing so cunningly. He became very much angry at him and he called him a person who behaves in a wild and stupid way. But George didn't have any effect and he laughed louder. Jerome managed to get the shirt onto the boat hook and haul it out of the water. At that precious means valuable moment means a very short time, he realized that it was not his shirt at all, but George's. He had mistaken it for his in a hurry to get dressed. The humor of the thing struck Jerome for the first time and he began to laugh. And the more he looked from George's wet shirt to George, roaring with laughter, the more he was amused. Jerome now laughed so much that he let the shirt fall back into the water again. Somehow Jerome took out the shirt from the water with the help of boat hook. At the same time, he realized that this was not his shirt. The shirt was of George and now it was the turn of Jerome to laugh. Jerome was laughing loudly as when he was looking at the shirt and then George, and he threw that shirt into the water again. Aren't you going to get it out? Said George between his shrieks. Shrieks means sharp cries. Jerome couldn't answer for a while. He was laughing so much, but at last, between his peals of laughter, he managed to jerk out, "It isn't my shirt, it is yours." Never saw a face change from lively to severe so suddenly in his whole life. Now, George asked him if he was going to get it out. he was not going to get it out, but Jerome couldn't answer him for a short time as he was laughing so much. But after some time, he said that that was not his shirt. It is George's shirt. Now George's face, which was very lively, became serious suddenly. What? He yelled. Yelled means shouted. Springing up, you silly cuckoo. My expensive shirt. Why can't you be more careful of what you are doing? Why don't you go and dress on the bank? You are not fit to be in a boat. Give me the boat hook. To know that it was his shirt, George called him silly cuckoo and asked him to be careful to while he was dressing up. And he said that he is not fit to be in the boat and then asked him to give him the boat hook. Jerome tried to make him see the fun of the thing, but he couldn't. George was very dense at seeing a joke sometimes, but perhaps he didn't care much about doing to others as he wanted them to do to him. Harry found that really amusing. It seemed George had not understood the principle do to others as you would have others do to you. Jerome wanted to show George that fun of the things, but George didn't understand. George was very serious at this time. Maybe he didn't care much about doing the same to others which he did not hope for himself, means which he considered wrong for himself. Harry also found it amusing. This is all, students. I hope you all have understood. Thank you for watching the video.